Guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Elijah, and in my channel I talk about everything related to women and midwifery. So if today is the first time you're coming across my channel, do not forget to watch this video to the end, like, comment and share to your friends and colleagues that might benefit from this information. So this video I'm doing is for everyone working in the health sector really, but this is about my personal experience as a midwife, okay? So as a registered professional, there is this duty of accountability, and also there is something in this country that I like is the fact that they investigate incidents. When they investigate incident, the main aim is not basically to crucify you or to make you feel like you haven't really, you've done really something, but it's basically for them to learn on the incident. Not just them, yourself as well. So there've been couple of incidences, like everybody have these incidents, and the gross incidents are the one that have been taken to the NMC for them to be investigated, and that's for whether you're a nurse, a midwife or nursing associate. But if you're a doctor, they've got their own body as well, and the GMC, they've got their own body as well. If you are a laboratory scientist, everybody have got their own bodies that if you do anything, those body will be charged with the responsibility of investigating that incident. But before it gets to that level, the trust have their own risk team as well, so they investigate incident, and most cases serious incidents. Sometimes the incident might not be serious, but in as much as it results in it affected the patient care, then it becomes an incident that actually needs to be investigated. Okay, so based on the personal experience, I've got a situation. I think I've shared about my cord prolapse experience earlier, but as we work, as we continue, you will definitely be having some of this incident. Some of the midwives are already working in the country for a while. When I was crying on this day, yes, I cried. They were like, "Oh, most of us have already had this incident as well. All you just need to do is to make sure your documentation is right, it's okay, and just be waiting." Okay. So this happened on this particular day. I'm a midwife in the MLBU. So we call it MLBU in my trust. Sometimes it is called betting center, but we call it midwifery-led betting unit in my side. But it could be called the betting center or the midwifery, center kind of, or whatever you call it in your own side. But basically, it is this place where the midwife is the sole caretaker of this particular patient, and it's mostly for low risk patient. Without any risk, then you'll be the midwife to take care of that. The only thing is that as a midwifery-led unit midwife, you'll be listening to the vital heart rate every 15 minutes in the first stage of labor and every 5 minutes in the second stage of labor, and you will be expected to escalate if you have any concern. You'll be expected to transfer the patient to the consultant-led unit if there is any concerns with the patient, and what that means that you need to be aware of the policy in your trust, so you know when you need to transfer a patient to the other side. So this particular day, I was monitoring this patient, because we've been together, and it wasn't too long. It was in a night shift, so maybe like I took her from the the triad unit maybe like midnight. So I've only done, they've done the first VE, then I just did the second VE. It was still more like 5 centimeter. Then I ruptured the membrane, and it got to like 6 centimeter, and I administer, she's just on enteros. And there was, I was giving this person antibiotics as well that she needs to take every 4 hours, okay? So when the next antibiotics was due, almost around that time, she requested for much stronger pain relief, and I did offer that petidine. And you know, with Petidin, you shouldn't be giving when, you know, you're anticipating delivery very soon. Because she was 6 centimeters, and I was like, oh, okay. This particular person, then I gave the Petidin maybe around 4:30. Then she was like, oh, I think something is coming out. Not quite long after that, I was like, what is coming out? And you know what? You know, you don't have to wait for the 4-hour examination. If you see there is a reason for you to do the, you know, the VE, especially with imminent signs of second stage, then you are supposed to do the VE. I did the VE at around 4:50, and she was fully dilated. This woman was pushing already involuntarily, so there was no time for me to do the passive hours. And you know, in that second stage now, so I've got a student working. She is looking for a delivery, so then, you know, we are now 2 in the room, and I set up the delivery trolley. I think I did that already, and she was already, you know, pushing, trying to push and all of that, and you have to listen to the fetal heart rate, and bear in mind that this patient was not on any other effective pain reliever side, you know, intimus, and she has just had Petidin. So she keep pushing, and we keep continuing. At one point, we listening to the fetal heart rate every 5 minutes in second stage. You know, now I've done a VE at 4:50, and she's not fully dilated. I'm expected to now be checking the fetal heart rate every 5 minutes. So we listened to the fetal heart rate, but we couldn't really count for complete 1 minute just because, you know, she's quite uncomfortable. Then we're delivering. You know, the head was like residing with contractions. You know, we just need a good more pushing for it to come out. So then, because the head has been there for a while, then I buzzed for the second midwife to come in. When the second midwife to come in, I just say, oh, you can get me some lidocaine just in case I will be needing it. As you know, I just reckon this head has been there for a while now. What I mean is that it's outside, but you just need a bit more pushing for it to really comes out completely. And that was like I think around 5:04, 5:05 that has been there. And at one point I remember I told the lady to say that this head has been there, you really need a good pushing to push this baby out. This baby has been there for a while now. Lo and behold, we delivered this head at 5:09. Remember, this patient had Petidin at around 4:30. I'm sharing this for knowledge sake only, and this is just for you as midwife to learn from the incidents as well. So the head was delivered at 5:09, and we were waiting for the next contraction for delivery of the baby. However, without the next contraction, the next contractions take a couple of minutes, and it was around 5:12, the baby was delivered. That's about 3 minutes from where the head was delivered. Bear in mind, there was no solar dystocia. It was just that there was no contraction. And by the time this baby comes out, it was just, and that was it. Rubbing, stimulations, nothing else. So 1 minute I paused, I put the emergency buzzer, I called for additional, the flu, and everyone comes in, and this baby actually needs actual resuscitation. And baby had to go for, you know, other resuscitation. At that point, I was already crying, like, what have I done wrong? What happened? Everything was fine. I was listening to fetal heart rate. Everything was fine. So what is wrong? What went wrong? And we took the core gases, and core gases came out as 7.0, and that's the arterial 7.0, and the venous was 7.36. We were just like, well, when I saw the gas, you know, this incident was what made me to go read about the gases very well. Because before, I don't know what is normal, I don't know what is not normal with the gas. I just show someone, one of the band 7 midwives, to say, is this gas okay? And they would just say, yeah, it's fine. This gas Tuesday, they did the gas, and they told me The venous is 7.36 and arterials is 7.0, and everybody was already saying how, 7.0, something has happened before. I know gas in mitros, gas less than 7.2, they always say to repeat it if it's less than 7.2, but now my own is 7.0. And later the pediatrician bring the baby to see the woman in the resuscitator, and they say they need to take the baby to their to them to NICU for for monitoring and all that. Baby will be fine. At that point I already know that. No, I was so devastated. I was crying. There are a lot of reasons I was crying. The father, I don't know what has went wrong, and the father, me and this woman, we've had a relationship that we were talking, and she has made me understand that she's got a 1 year. I was just thinking this baby need active resuscitation, and we wouldn't talk about versus physio or what has this baby got. And then the pediatrician later come to me to say, well, you have to make sure the consultant pediatrician has to say, okay, this baby had HIE, that's hypoglycemic ischemic encephalopathy, HIE, and it is a national thing and it has to be investigated nationally. So it's not about the trust. Any trust that have a delivery of a baby that's been diagnosed with HIE, the case needs to be investigated based on the UK law. So it's a national thing. I was like, hey, what happened? What did I do? At the time the doctor, the consultant came in, I had already written my retrospective entry. Then I started crying again. Then I asked my older senior colleague, the band 7, I showed them my notes and I explained the situations to them, and I said that if you were investigating this case, what would you say after reading out my note? And some of them asked me some few questions, and some of them reassured me that there is nothing else you could have done. This case is not a case of social dystocia. You did not hear anybody. And some asked, why did you consider episiotomy in the first place? Is it not that you're concerned about the fetal heart rate? So, at any point, I was not concerned about the fetal heart rate. I do not have any concern about the fetal heart rate. The only reason I requested for the lidocaine was the fact that this baby has been there for a while, which I communicated to the woman. And then there was a gap. So I did a VE at 4:50, and at 5 o'clock I did another FH. So there's a senior midwife that said, you've understood that this woman is in second stage, then you should start listening every 5 minutes. So you should have listened to fetal heart rate at 4:55. That one was there. So I already had in mind, what will I say, why? I said, oh, well, I done the VE, I need to prepare, I need to do this. They say, well, we understand that, but that's the policy. You have to still listen to the fetal heart rate at that point. And I was like, oh, then I started crying again. So I came back home, was crying, they were like, okay, I was crying. My husband, when I came back, I explained to my husband, and he was like, so I was patiently hoping and waiting for them to come in for the investigation of this incident. And then this restful day, I got an email from the midwifery matron, the delivery suite matron, to say that, okay, they just want to know about this case. The case is now uninvolved. I can, go there to look at it. Then can you please confirm to us how did you monitor fetal heart rate in the MLBU unit? I was like, okay. So I listen to fetal heart rate every 15 minutes in first stage of labor and every 5 minutes in second stage of labor after contractions, and then I do the fresh high. So this could be different from trust to trust every 1 hour, and in first stage, and every 30 minutes in second stage. And they go again to say, you did not say whether, did you mean before or after contractions and all of that? And I said that I already said in this email that it's after contractions. However, if it is in the notes, I do not remember writing in the notes that it has to be after contraction, but And they said, okay, that's fine. That's just what they want to know. And I was like, and they stopped about that. And I said, I just want to know about what happened to the situation, what happened to this patient, and what did I do wrong? Because when something happened, I always like to reflect on the incident. So I was like, what did I do wrong? Then he goes, well, you didn't do anything wrong. There was nothing to learn from, because it was reviewed as an unavoidable admission to NACO, and it was a managed case with an unexpected outcome. You know what? I was so happy when I heard about this, and that was about 3 months after the main incident has happened. So you know what that made me feel was, that it could have been something else, but I've done what I think I should do. I've done everything and listened to the fetal heart rate. So what happened was, it was an acute incident that the head was stuck for like 3 minutes, and there was cord round in it. So the supply, so that is why the gases is like, the arterial is 7.0 and the venous is 7.36. So the venous is the blood supply, is the oxygenated blood that goes to the baby from the mother. So what that means is that throughout the baby's delivery, there was still good, venous supply to the baby. What happened was, at that time the baby head was stuck there. The supplies of the baby head was stuck, and there was cord wrangling there, so blood supply to the baby was cut. So apparently, most likely that this baby do not have any reserve again, so it was an acute incident. I could have been like a case of, I did not monitor the fetal heart rate if the venous was bad as well. Okay, so what that means is that this baby was constantly well oxygenated throughout the labor. The problem was just acute at the delivery point, which there was nothing else I could have done. Okay, the only thing on reflection, the only thing I was thinking is, maybe since once it's 1 minute, I will have just put that I was waiting for the head for the baby to be delivered. When it's like 1 minute or 2 minutes, I could have put the emergency buzzer. Other people could have come and maybe stimulate the uterus for contraction. Maybe the contraction would have come earlier. But basically, there was nothing else I could have done, based on their review and based on their feedback and based on everything that I've heard from other senior midwives in the in the place as well. Do you know what? Since that day, I said, no, my cord prolapse, if you remember as well, that I've shared on this, on this channel as well, it was in MLB. So I think I have a thing with midwifery birth units now. The only reason I was scared again is the fact that I was the court midwife. So if there was gonna be a questions, it would still be directed to me. Though I called for second midwife, but I'm the primary midwife of this patient, and there was no consultant or anything. So all questions would be directed to me, and I was absolutely scared. I was crying. But as Allah will have it, alhamdulillah, it come out to say that, okay, you did what you need to do, what you are supposed to do, but it just come out like that. So it was reviewed as an unexpected, a managed case with an unexpected outcome. Thank you so much for coming. So if you're a midwife already in the UK as well, and you're having some challenges practicing, and you want to share your experience, your incidents, and if you've attended a panel, they have this panel when you do something and they are trying to query whether you did anything wrong, or they want to learn from what happens and all of that. I think there's this panel, but I've never attended a panel before, but a couple of people that attended a panel doesn't mean that you're not doing anything, you are doing something wrong or something. But the main thing about it is learning from the incident. If you have something you need to share with me, please reach out to me via email, and now you can decide to share it anonymously. You can decide to come and share it on my channel by telling us, coming, facing us, let us see you sharing it, or you decided to say, just tell me about the story. I'm going to put it out for people to learn from. If you learn one or two things from what I've said now, please comment and say that in the comment section. The only reason things I said I've learned really from the incident is, once the head is delivered, 2 minutes body is not delivered, I'm going to be putting emergency buzzer now. No matter, I've pulled it again and they said, well, by the time they called babies, I said, oh sorry, it's because the baby was not coming and there was meconium, that's why I pulled the buzzer. They said, oh, okay, don't worry, it's better to put the buzzer for and day comes and if they still need it. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.